An error occurred. Wait a moment. Try go live again. It says you are live. Hi,
So we're
everyone.
live.
My name is Michelle Novak, and I'm with Emma today. We're here to walk you through the crisis of the 2026 Deepfake breach. For account ground rules, there's a lot of. Are you getting echo on your end at a moment?
Yes, I got an echo on my end.
Sorry about that.
Well, you can continue speaking. So I
Okay,
think
so we're
we're
gathering
getting
here
people
today to
joining us.
discuss the official and become the #1 corporate threat of 2026. Before we begin, I certainly want to tell everybody some ground rules. We'll be doing all Q&A through the chat. If you have a question, please put it in the chat. We'll certainly address it as we go along. And at the end of the presentation, we're also going to have an opportunity to have it as well. So we're going to go through a lot of information today. Feel free to put your computers on mute. Sorry for the delay. And go ahead and put your videos on so we can see everybody who's attending, because we love to see your faces. So this is not just about a hacker stealing passwords anymore. It's about hackers stealing identities in real time to bypass our most trusted security measures. This briefing by Harden will walk you through the crisis of a digital trust and how to safeguard your business. Next slide. So we're living in a time where we're seeing longer, right? Today we're going to discuss the rapid rise of generative AI threats, and more importantly, how we can safeguard your business assets, identity, and trust in a new landscape. Recent news: EU opens a formal probe into Musk's XAI over deepfakes. It's a major problem for not only the mainstream, but also for smaller businesses. And we're certainly going to take a look at how we can protect your business today as we go through this training. Next slide, please. So let's look at the true reality, right? In 2024, let's take a look at a case that changed everything. The $25 million fall from 2024. It was all over the news. An employee joined a video conference with their CFO and several colleagues. Everything seemed normal, but there was one terrifying twist. Every single participant on that call, except for the victim, was a real-time feed. The result: $25 transferred directly to the hand of the criminal. The victim actually did what they were trained to do: verify a call, but in 2026, the call itself, it was a trap. And unfortunately, the gentleman who was on that call that released those funds could not even detect that it was everybody else on that call was a deep fake. Next slide. So when we take a look at the 2025 and 2026 incident intelligence that we have out there, we have a lot of different types of scams that are going on right now. We have the family office scam. We have the agent payroll breach. We have the MFA voice push. We have the global bank authorization attacks. But the threat has only escalated since. In late 2025, we saw the agentic payroll breach, where an AI bot held a 45-minute troubleshooting call to steal $25 million in payroll. Think about that. An AI bot was able to sit on a telephone with somebody, have a conversation, and the person on the other end of that phone couldn't even detect that they were speaking to a non-person. In January of 2026, we have seen virtual kidnapping. That's a big one that's coming out, targeting family offices, using 5-second voice clones harvested from LinkedIn videos. Whether it's a voice clone manager tricking staff to approving MFA prompts or coordinating video attacks across 5 continents, the speed and scale of these incidents are unprecedented. And we're only going to see more and more as we continue to drive AI into everything that we do. Next slide, please. The global evidence, recent newsworthy fraud, right? There is a lot of things that are going on. So when we take a look at the transition, really kind of where this has started over the last couple of years, we'll start with the Ferrari CEO voice attack. You can take a look at the retooling breach that happened, as well as the Slovakia election that used audio. This is a global pandemic of fraud. We've seen voice clones used to target CEOs, again, of Ferrari, and IT staff of Retool to bypass Google Authenticator. It's also being used to disrupt democracy. From deepfake audios released 48 hours before the Slovakia election to fake robocalls in the US, even CEOs of LastPass was targeted in the phishing campaign via WhatsApp and Teams. If these high-profile leaders are targets, your organization is too. And it's important that you understand how to protect yourself in the world that we live in today. Next slide.
We have a question in the comment section. Somebody's asking, can small businesses be victims of deepfake attacks?
That is a good question, and I will tell you absolutely. And that's why we're doing this training today. Small businesses are more so prone to a deepfake attack than larger corporations because their information is more viable to attack, especially those that are in the financial sector. They're really looking to drive wire fraud, MFA, and other types of attacks against you. So yes, it's very prevalent. And we're going to talk a little bit how you can protect yourself as a small business and things that you can do. I'll be sharing some deep information today, and hopefully you'll take that away. And you'll also get a copy of this deck, so we'll share that with you. A great question. So when we take a look to the shift time synthesis of what's actually happening, we see a $3,000, I'm sorry, a 1,300% surge in fake incidents in just 24 months. Well, we used to worry about strategic images or pre-recorded videos. The new frontier is real-time synthesis. Live calls with less than 100 milliseconds of latencies. Pro-grade tools for the now cost as little as $20 a month. So that's scary. We have moved past the era of static face swapping photos in 2022. And by 2024, we're dealing with recorded video messages. Today in 2026, we're facing real-time synthesis with latency under 100 milliseconds. This means live mimicry during a Zoom call or Teams calls that is virtually indistinguishable from reality. You can't really distinguish it. Looking ahead in 2028, expect genic scams, AI bots that can build trust, negotiate, argue entirely on their own. And it's already there, especially with quantum computing right around the corner. Next slide. So I want to walk you through as a small business. I'm sorry. I think I missed the slide. Can you go back one? Okay. Can you skip? Can you go one more? Because I think there is. No, go back one. I'm sorry. So anyway, let me walk you through. I don't know why this slide is missing off your screen. You can leave it there. So there's the 5-step risk review that I implore with everyone, right? The first rule is the FTC requires data mapping. If you don't know where your pieces of PII sit, whether it's in Drake and Clio, on your drive, in Dropbox, you're already in non-compliance. We start to identify the inventory that the AI wants to steal. So that's most critical when you're a small business or any other entity that you want to start with. Identify what they want to steal from you. The second step is the IRS isn't just suggesting a WISP, which is a written information security plan. They're mandating it. It's a condition for your PTIN. It's a mandate for all of cybersecurity to protect your company and your assets, which is your client's data. They're mandating it as a condition. By adding agentic AI and third-party oversight, we ensure your risk is a living document, not just a binder gathering somewhere. We have switched from things that are being static when it comes to cybersecurity oversight and these mechanisms, and making sure that it's turned into a live governance, continuous monitoring program. The third step is the core of our webinar, the protect pillar. It's not just about firewalls. It's not just about active verification. We implement protocols that thwart the deepfake by requiring multi-person authentication and authorization satisfies NIST standards. It's not going to stop a deepfake. And we're going to give you some information today on how to do that. Finally, we bridge to step 5. Why? Because compliance shouldn't be a burden, right? Or a fear. It should be a posture of confidence in your business, whether you're a small business or a larger business. The mindset shift is what allows you to lead your firm while you handle your digital horizons. Again, there's 5 steps. Identify your assets, govern it, protect it, detect the actions that need to do and monitor, and then create the posture to protect your data. So when we take a look at the mechanics of modern scams, right? We know that phishing is out there. We know phishing is out there. We know live swaps are out there. But these are the 2 standards that are on the rise, right? Using voice and live swaps in your face, which can really be detrimental to how you process things. So I'm going to go to the next slide.
Okay, before we go on to the next slide, we have another question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so someone says, on personal verification protocols, in the Ferrari CEO example, the attack was only foiled because the executive asked a personal question. For those of us without a challenge response system in place, what are the 3 most effective personal questions or verification protocols a family or small business can implement today?
That's a great question, and we're going to go through that on the next couple of slides. So hold on to your thought there, and I'm going to share with you the things that you can say and do to verify and be your own human firewall. So just give us a moment and let's go to the next part of what I want to share with you, because I think you're going to find this very interesting. I'm just going to switch screens for a moment. So Adamola, just give me 1 minute. I'm going to present the screen because I want to share with most, okay?
Okay.
Can everybody see my screen? Just give a thumbs up in the chat if you can. So what I'm going to present to you here is how a lot of these tools that are out there, and we're going to talk about other tools that you can use to help protect you, but also the tools that the criminals are using to create these deep fakes. The example that I'm going to show you here on the screen is a deep fake that I created with a photo just of myself. And what this tool was able to do is actually create a live and actionable video using a photo only and a script that I put into this tool. So let's take a look, because some of the things I want you to take a look at while you're looking at this, and I think it's very important, is I want you to take a look at the digital mask. I want you
You
to
need
be
to
able to
add the
identify
presentation to the
what that actually,
screen.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You need to add the presentation to the screen.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not, I thought it added. Sorry. Okay, can everybody say? Sorry about that.
Yes, there you go.
Perfect. Apologize. Thank you, Adamali. Okay, so what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you how this tool was able to take a still photo of me and create, with the script that I put into it, a live video. And this is what the criminals are doing today to bypass authenticity and really, drive the deep fake epidemic. So I'm going to play that again. And I want everybody to take a look at a couple of things. And then I'll actually show you how we can create one together, right? And again, they can go out to LinkedIn. They can go anywhere on the internet. Grab a photo of you if you're out there, especially if you're a high level executive and you have your picture out there. They can just snip that picture, put it into a tool like this, and make it say anything it wants. And no one would know nonetheless. So I'm going to play this again. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at the features. I want you to take a look at the lips. I want you to take a look at the face. I want you to take a look at my eyes. I want you to see if my teeth are blurring, because all of those things are indicators that this is a deep fake. So again, that is something that I wanted to show you. But this is what I actually want to show you, how interesting it is that I can go and I can take a photo, and I'm going to do that right now live. Okay. I'm going to grab a photo from my album. Just give me one moment. Let's use this photo. Sorry. Give me 1 second because I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to bring it back. I just had to select. Sorry about that. I moved it off screen. So it's generated. When it generates, I'm going to bring it on board, but I'm going to stop sharing for now, and then we'll come back to it. Anamola, you want to go ahead and present? I'll add it to
Okay.
stage.
Okay, there you go.
You've got to keep going. Once that generates, I'm going to bring it back on so you can all see how it did it live. But what I want you to focus on the video that I did show you was, since your eyes and ears are the last line of defense, practicing spotting these fakes are critical. You want to watch for the profile flicker, as we call it, where the digital mask switches a little bit when the person turns, especially like in a 365. That is one of the number one things that when you're on any kind of call or you feel something seems odd, ask them to turn their face. Ask them, say, hey, can you look sideways? Can you look to the left for me, or can you look to the right? Because what you'll notice is you'll get a flicker if it's someone on a call that's not supposed to be there. And that's how you'll identify that it's a deep fake or that someone has infiltrated your meetings. It makes a digital glitch, right? The audio flatline. So one of the things that you can do to detect if it's a deep fake video or if someone on the video is not real is you want to listen to their voice. Most of the agentic AI generated voices, they're flatlined. You don't hear them breathing in, right? They don't show any emotional inflection in their voice. So you want to listen on how they articulate. If everything sounds the same and you don't hear any kind of different inflection in the voice, that's another indicator that it's a deep fake. Because we all have that breathing or natural breathing and emotional inflections in our voice. And you want to look closely at the mouth. AI still struggles with teeth blur and realistic tongue movements. So that's another indication that it could be a deep fake. I want everyone to really understand that watching these deep fake videos and the one that I just generated with a photo that was flat, that it created a voice for me, it can even spoof my voice and edit onto my photo. And that is what's happening. And that's critical for all you to understand. The tool that I was just using is called HeyGen. It's the gold standard for quality and lip syncing. It's perfect for showing how a CEO of a CEO or an employee can be turned into a talking video. And that's what we just walked through. Go ahead and hit the next slide for me.
Okay. Do you want to take additional questions?
I think it's important that we get through the actual call, and then we'll take Q&A at the end if everybody can wait. If it's something that they really want to answer right now, I can certainly do that. But if you want to monitor those questions, and then we'll answer all of them at the end. I just want to make sure that we're moving along to our presentation.
Okay, sounds good.
So again, we talked about spotting the fake, the profile flicker, the audio flatline, the teeth blur, the interruptions. Wave your hands slowly in front of their face, right? Most real-time deepfakes struggle to render boundaries between the hands and the face. If possible, again, ask them to turn the light off. That's another trick. If the face remains perfectly lit while the background goes dark, it's fake. These are just, again, some other ideas that you can use in using the human hacking and firewall to protect yourself. Test the eyes, right? Look for artifacts like profile flickering. Make sure that you kind of write these down and explain how your team can use this and understand it. Go ahead to the next slide. So the hacker's toolkit, right? Flip one more if you don't mind. Weaponized Gen AI tools. The barrier to the entry of these attacks is shockingly low. Using tools like Even Labs for voice cloning, which only requires seconds of audio from a public source like YouTube, and deep face live for neutral face swapping, anyone can become a digital imposter today. These digital crowbars are injected into our corporate calls using standard software like OBS Studio to bypass virtual security cameras. So one of the things I do want to share, there are tools out there though that can help detect all of these type of deepfakes. And it's important that you understand and take a look at and invest in it. So there's companies called like SumSub and Oz Liveliness that will actually help you detect in real time. There's Oz Forensics who can monitor your calls, who can monitor your voice interactions. So make sure that you're doing that. There's also tools that we use that are open source that you can use as well that were developed by the Buffalo Education System, and it's an open source tool that can pick up a deep fake in minutes. You can actually load any kind of picture, data, video into it, and it'll tell you if it's real or not. So I just want to give you that because it's important that you understand that. There's a place called Hugging Face that does the face recognition and live detection and face analysis, which is another one that you can use to help to protect yourself. I highly recommend it. Next screen. So again, hackers are using digital crowbars. Even 11 Labs and HeyGen to execute sophisticated scams. These include the ghost candidate, right? Where AI masks are used to ace remote job interviews. Think about that. You don't even know when you're having an interview today if you're actually speaking with someone. That's how good AI has come in cloning people, and it's only going to become more advanced as we move along, right? In addition, salami attacks where voice clones request multiple small transfers to stay under the audit threshold. That's a big one, right? It's called, sometimes they call it the penny scam. So they're able to clone your voice and then somehow get transfers done, right, using your voice. It's critical that, again, you help and you understand what's out there on the hacker toolkit so you can protect yourself against these threats going forward. Next slide. Let's talk about 2027 and beyond, the financial impact of staggering, right? Deloitte projects that U.S. fraud losses from generative AI will hit $40 billion by next year. I want you to think about that. $40 billion next year. Furthermore, Gardner predicts that by 2028, a quarter of all remote job candidates will actually be synthetic performers. We are entering an era of the ghost candidate, where imposters use AI methods to get hired and gain internal access to Slack, GitHub, IP servers. We already know it's out there. We already know it's happening. You need to be on your toes, and that's what I tell everybody. You got to invest in the tools to help protect and train your employees, train yourself. That is the only way to protect yourself. Next slide. Let's talk about the human firewall, right? So these are something that I recommend to everybody, the liveliness test. Software will always be one step behind AI. Your best defense is a human firewall. Use liveliness test. Ask people to wave their hands in front of their face, and establish a safe word protocol for all 9 standard financial moves. This is so critical today, more than ever. You want to make sure that before you transfer money, that you're verifying that person. I deal with a lot of clients, and I just had a client the other day who called me, who unfortunately experienced what we call a BEC attack. And that's where they were hacked in the middle of their email. and they were sending an invoice to their client. The client went to go pay, but they received an additional invoice that looked like it was from my client that said, "Hey, transfer the money to this account." So I, not knowing any better, paid the invoice, and it went to the criminal's account. It did not go to my client. I say this because, again, she would have had a safe word protocol in place for all transactions, whether it be through a email attack or through a cloning attack. That would not have happened. Software will always be, again, one step behind. You must build a human firewall. This includes, again, asking a caller to wave their hand or turning their face or shutting off the light. It could be anything. It means using out of band verification. If someone asks for money, hang up and call them back on a verified personal number. Don't just trust. Most importantly, establish that safe word protocol for your team. A secret phase required for all non-standard financial moves. The practical 3-channel rule, right? Use all 3 verification methods before transferring money. I say that to everybody. Call them, validate them, do what you need to do. Liveliness test, the lateral movement test, is still very effective. When you ask the person on a video call to turn the head 90 degrees to the side and the back, most real-time AI masks flicker and lose alignment of the ear and jawline. So that's another indicator, right? But you want to do these things. You want to make it happen. You don't want to just put it out in your procedures and push it out to your teams. If you don't practice what you're saying, they're not going to follow. So make sure that you're the one that's leading the pack on that and call people out, right? Have fun with it. That's what I tell everybody. If you're on a team meeting and you're not sure and you're new, whatever it might be, say, "Hey, let's have a little fun today," right? You're the leader of that meeting. You should protect yourself. Next slide. So beyond the firewall, let's talk about the real hidden threat, the internal deepfakes. This is the new uncomfortable frontier of social engineering. We're talking about individuals within your internal access that's already part of your group. Knowledge of your company's hierarchy, its vulnerabilities, and its secrets. They're not looking to breach a firewall, but to undermine trust and manipulate perceptions from within. This is about revenge, sabotage, or even malicious stock. Manipulation using AI. That's what they're doing. Consider the implications. A former employee angry after a termination creates a deepfake audio clip, like we just did, of a manager making racially insensitive remarks. Or a current employee passed over for promotion, fabricates a video of the CEO appearing to endorse a competitor, time to go viral just before a major announcement. The tools for creating convincing deepfakes are becoming so accessible and user-friendly that they are no longer restricted to high-tech criminals. We call this the liar dividend, right? Late in 2025, a large, well-known tech company faced unprecedented crisis. A senior software engineer, let's call him Mark, had recently been passed over for a promotion. He felt deserved. Weeks later, after this decision, an anonymous email was sent to all employees, linking to a short video clip. The video appeared to show the company CTO, a highly respected figure, making disparaging remarks about the company's new diversity initiatives and openly mocking several employees by name. The video was highly convincing. The CTO's face, voice, and even mannerisms seemed authentic. Within hours, the company's internal Slack channels erupted. Employees were outraged, demanding accountability. HR was inundated with complaints. The stock price took an immediate hit as news leaked to social media. The CTO, although vehemently denied making the statements, but the evidence seemed undeniable. It's called the liar's dividend. Immediately, it took effect. And even those who respected the CTO started to question him. It took the company's forensic security team nearly 72 hours to conclusively prove the deepfake, leveraging advanced detection tools to subtly identify inconsistencies in the videos, the lighting, the audio, the waveforms that the naked eye couldn't perceive. So, want to again put that out there. It's not only external threats, there are internal threats as well that you need to protect yourself against. Next video, please. So the union firewall, right? Again, we talked about the return and the logins. We talked about ban verification. We talked about building a corporate safe word, right? And then shadow recruiting defense, right? Implementing strict, no filter background for remote interviews. Critical going forward. That is one of the keys to protect yourself, especially because we're going to start seeing an uprising in that. The statistics are already in. Software will always, again, be one step behind AI, but your best defense is a protocol, not a program. You must build a human firewall within your company. This includes liveliness test. Again, that's going to call it, again, I'm going to repeat myself, wave your hand. Out of the band, verification. Someone's asking for money, hang up. Verify that email. Call them. Reach them another way. And then again, establish a safe word protocol for your team. A secret phase required for all non-financial moves. Next slide, please. We talked a little bit about the 5 steps, right? The biggest misconception in 2026 is standard FMA. Like a text code or an app push is designed to stop someone who has your password. But if a hacker uses the voice tone of your IT director to call you and say, I'm running a security test, please approve this push notification, you're about to see most employees will hit approve. Deepfakes don't hack the software, they hack the person holding the phone. This is why the out-of-band verification is critical, right? Compliance, IRS, FTC, they require certain protocols and mandates. It's important that you follow that and protect yourself, especially around the annual deepfake analysis that you're required to do now. Next slide. So your homework tonight is simple but critical. Set a safe word with your spouse, your financial team, whoever it is. Security, also a matter of compliance. Making sure that you're mapping your security protocols, you're sharing it with your team to protect your firm, making sure that you're setting that safe word to protect your finances, verifying to survive. If you need full enterprise security audit or team training, reach out to the experts. We're all available. We're here to help. Next slide. So let's open it up for questions. I do want to kind of go back. I did have a question earlier. And I want to make sure that we address that concern. Is there any software that can detect deepfakes automatically? There are deepfake watermarking tools and detection software, but it's a constant arms race. By the time a detection tool is updated to catch a Model A, the hackers have already moved to Model B. This is why we emphasize the human firewall and the safe word protocol. Technology is the secondary shield. Your internal processes must be the primary. Are these tools expensive? How are small-time hackers doing this? Again, it's a race to the bottom line in terms of high-fidelity voice that you can do for $20 a month. HiGen that I just was on, $19, $17 a month. Hackers know that. 11 Labs, $20 a month. The software to run real FaceTime swaps is often open source and free. Think about that. So barrier isn't money anymore. It's just the effort to find your audio and video online, which most of us provide freely on LinkedIn and YouTube, just like we're doing today. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to any additional questions. And I know that there are some questions out there. Let's get those answered.
Okay, so from top to bottom. So we have a question that says the retool breach and the NH robocall scandal show that even tech-savvy environments are vulnerable. Since technology is failing to stop these at the perimeter, what specific behavioral training provides the highest return on safety for employees who are under constant social engineering pressure?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm going to tell you again, go to the human firewall, right? You need to develop what's going to work for your employees. Everybody learns differently. So some need to hear it, some need to see it, some need to feel it. However they learn, you need to develop training, just like I have done on this webinar today, and share it with them and be consistent and put it in their face constantly. You know, we all have um, a wallpaper on our desktop. Create a 5 trick question for deepfakes. Put it on the on your wallpaper, and send it out to everybody and make sure that they make it on their wallpaper so they can constantly have a reminder. Visual reminders are critical because it takes us 21 days to commit it to memory and 7 times to keep practicing it to make sure that we get it. So the human firewall is the way to go.
Okay, the next question says on rapid response for small entities, the Slovakia election audio shows how quickly public trust can be eroded. If a small brand or local public figure discovers a deepfake of themselves circulating, what is the golden hour response checklist to mitigate damage before it goes viral?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I'm going to tell you this. As soon as you spot it, report it, right? There are a lot of agencies. And first of all, you want to report it if you're in the US to the FTC. You want to report it to the FBI criminal, right? And then you want to report it to any other agency that's locally. You can report it to the police. I always recommend reporting it to the police because you want a trail of it. Should it ever come back to you, should anything else ever happen, because again, you don't know what the intent is of that video, but you want to seek counsel. And the authorities are going to guide you the best on what to do. And I would say immediately. Like, you don't want to wait an hour. But if it's something that reached a protocol, obviously follow all of your state, local, and federal protocol for breaches. And then if you have an IT department, if you're an individual, there's help out there. If you're a company, reach out to your MSP, reach out to anybody that you have monitoring your IT. Or if you have, a compliance partner like myself, reach out to me and we'll walk you through what to do and we'll walk you through those steps.
Okay, the next one is on the 3 channel rule. You mentioned a framework requiring verification across 3 different communication modes: voice, video, SMS for financial transactions. In a high pressure situation, which specific channel is currently the least likely to be spoofed by AI, and should it always be the final anchor of truth?
I don't want to call it the final anchor, but I would probably tell you, you definitely want to use SMS. I would say texting is probably better than audio because phones can be spoofed as well, right? Your phone number can be spoofed as well, and you might be thinking that you're calling that person. And again, with the AI cloning, they can answer those questions. The AI is intelligent enough to answer your questions and your concerns. But that will still remain my probably number one. Call them and then text. And if you have any other Slack channel, Teams channel that you can reach them on, any other WhatsApp, use any one of those. You can use any other channel that you know that you can reach that person on to verify it's them. And I would do that.
Okay, the very last question for today is it possible to get this video after the live session from
Absolutely.
Bungiwe
It's going
Jacobs?
to be up. So it's going to be up and it'll be replayed. We're also doing another live session next week, going a little bit further into the deep fakes and AI and how to help protect small businesses. So look for that, especially on all of our channels. But I want to share with all of you today. I didn't do this video to scare anybody, right? Because I know it can be very intimidating, especially if you don't have the internal IT departments or infrastructure to support and protect yourself. My business, Cardinal Bites, I'm a cybersecurity risk and compliance consulting, and I am a compliance partner. I specifically work with small businesses, right? Anybody under less than 25 employees, and I help them build that security posture. Adamoli has deep skills in AI, right? Understanding how it works and everything else. He's also the famous podcaster, I like to call him, at 2% and globally, right? With the King Dems podcast. So between both of us, we're here to help small businesses and also larger corporations really protect themselves. That's our mission by sharing this information today. And we hope that everyone on this call at least walks away with one benefit. All of you on this call today, if you can please put your email in the chat right now. And the reason why I'm asking for that is if you haven't signed up and I don't have your email, everyone's going to get the 5 checklist PDF as well as how to implement this into your WISP, okay, which is the written information security plan that is required by all federal and state and local cybersecurity mandates. Okay. Any other questions out there?
I think we have exhausted our questions for today. Wow. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us today.
All right. Well, we're going to say thank you, everyone. I appreciate you attending today, and we look forward to helping every single one of you. Reach out to us, DM us on LinkedIn, Facebook. We're everywhere. YouTube. And if you need a one-on-one, it's free. Book a 15-minute free risk review with me. I meet with everybody. We could talk about anything. Okay? Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Adam Ollie.
Okay, bye, guys.